They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Play action. Now Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, Wentz. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. Well, they'll get the yardage, but they hate to see him take that hit.
You're always trying to cool off a big-time guy throwing the ball, but you have to know when to back off, pull up, and not hit him. There's the penalty.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They run with Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start on the ground with Elliott. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to pump the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
The give is to Elliott. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure, he's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. And now he's rushing the passer as well.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz completes it to Aguilar. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
46. Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 point. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Being chased out left. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Eagles on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
There we go. Back. 180. Stay.
Now Wentz. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Now Wentz on 3rd down, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And out now come the Cowboys. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Elliott. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. Wentz now on first down. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Eagles on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing now is Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff left, Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated.
To throw is Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Don't go. 120.
51 to fight, boy. 51.
82, 82.
I got him.
Wentz now to throw. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Don't go.
Now Wentz to try again after the pick 6. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Lefty.
This is Ajayi, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, don't go. 120.
Working from the gun, Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Great 15, great 15.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Taco Charlton in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. He's going to loft one. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked out by Avonte Maddox. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for them. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
On play action, Wentz. Flush to his right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. 1st down on a pickup of 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Hang in there now. Hey, Lou. Go. 280. Shorty.
Here's Wentz to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
This 5-2.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game. And he's got a first down as well. They go play action here on first down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Wentz again. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
And now here come the Cowboys. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the grab by Croft. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Eagles have recovered.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Elliott is good. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what against symptomatic?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. There he goes left side. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Extra point hooks a bit, but it's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Eagles, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.